Understanding these challenges is the first step towards finding solutions. For the fiscal year 2025, it is crucial to understand the ground reality of the EV market in India and what needs to be done to accelerate its growth and adoption across the nation. The biggest problem for electric vehicles in India is charging infrastructure. सोचो, आपने एक नई electric car खरीदी, but where will you charge it? Most people live in apartments or societies where there is no dedicated charging point. Setting one up can be a big hassle. You need permissions and the wiring might not support it. Unlike a petrol pump, which is everywhere, charging stations are very few. This problem is even bigger in smaller towns and villages. Without enough public charging stations, people will always be worried about their car's battery running out. This is called range anxiety. Even where charging stations exist, they are not always reliable. Kai bar, a charging station might be out of order. Sometimes, there is a long queue of cars waiting to be charged. Charging an EV takes much longer than filling petrol. A fast charger can take 30 to 60 minutes, while a slow one can take many hours. This is not practical for people who are in a hurry. For India to succeed in its EV mission, we need a dense network of fast, reliable, and easy-to-use charging stations. This network needs to be as common and dependable as the petrol pumps we see today. Another major infrastructure challenge is the electricity grid itself. Electric vehicles need a lot of power. If millions of cars start charging at the same time, especially during peak hours in the evening, it could put a huge strain on our electricity supply. Many parts of India still face power cuts. How can we guarantee a stable power supply just for charging cars? The government and power companies need to work together to upgrade the grid. They need to ensure that our power infrastructure is strong enough to handle the extra load from a large fleet of electric vehicles across the country. Finally, there is the issue of standardization. Not all electric cars use the same type of charging plug. Imagine if different petrol cars needed different types of fuel nozzles. It would be very confusing. In India, we are still working on a common standard for EV chargers. This lack of a single standard makes it difficult for companies to build public charging networks. It also confuses customers. For the EV market to grow smoothly, we need one standard plug for all cars, making charging simple and universal for every driver, no matter which brand of vehicle they own. Let's talk about the price. Abhi ke liye, electric cars are more expensive than petrol or diesel cars of the same size. The main reason for this high cost is the battery. The battery is the heart of an electric vehicle and it is the most expensive part. These batteries are mostly imported from other countries like China. This makes them costly. For a middle-class family in India, the starting price of an electric car is still too high. Even with government subsidies or discounts, the final cost remains a major barrier for most buyers who are looking for an affordable and practical family vehicle. Then, there is the worry about the battery's life and replacement cost. A car battery, like a phone battery, gets weaker over time. After about 8 to 10 years, it may need to be replaced. Replacing the battery of an electric car can be very expensive. It can cost almost half the price of the car itself. This is a big financial risk for any buyer. People worry, what will I do when the battery dies? The resale value of old electric cars is also a concern because a new buyer will have to factor in the potential cost of a new battery in the near future. The cost of running an EV is lower. Bijli is cheaper than petrol, but the initial high purchase price is what stops people. This is the classic problem. You have to spend a lot of money up front to save money later. Most people cannot afford to do that. They prefer to pay a lower price for a petrol car, even if it means paying more for fuel every month. To make EVs popular, the initial price difference has to come down significantly. Until then, electric cars will remain a choice for only a small segment of the population who can afford the higher initial investment. Another concern is the limited choice available in the market. As of 2025, there are still not many affordable electric car models available in India. Most of the options are either in the premium segment or are very basic compact cars. There are very few choices in the popular mid-size SUV or sedan categories. People want more options to choose from, just like they have with petrol cars. More competition and more models will eventually help bring prices down. But for now, the lack of variety in the affordable EV segment is a significant challenge for buyers. The government has policies to promote electric vehicles, like the FAME, or Faster Adoption and Manufacturing of Electric Vehicles scheme. This scheme gives subsidies to make EVs cheaper. However, these policies can sometimes be confusing and change often. For example, the subsidy amount might change, or the rules to get the subsidy might become stricter. This uncertainty makes it difficult for both car companies and customers to plan. A stable, long-term policy is needed. People need to know that the benefits will be available when they decide to buy an EV, not just for a short period. There is also a need for better coordination between the central government and state governments. Some states offer their own extra discounts and benefits, like no registration fees or road tax. But this is not the same in every state. A person buying an EV in Delhi might get more benefits than someone in another state. This creates confusion and inequality. A more uniform policy across the country would make things simpler. It would ensure that every Indian has the same encouragement to switch to an electric vehicle, regardless of where they live, helping to create a single, unified national market. Looking ahead, the solution lies in solving these key problems together. For infrastructure, we need a massive rollout of fast-charging stations in cities, on highways, and in residential areas. This could be done through public-private partnerships. For the cost problem, the focus should be on making batteries in India. Make in India for batteries will bring down the cost of EVs significantly. More research and development in battery technology is also crucial. This will not only make cars cheaper, but also create jobs and make India self-reliant in this critical sector of the future. By 2025, while the challenges are clear, the direction is also positive. More companies are entering the EV market, which will increase competition and choices for consumers. Battery technology is improving every year, leading to longer range and lower costs. If the government can provide a stable policy and a clear roadmap for infrastructure development, the future of electric vehicles in India looks bright. The dream of clean, quiet, and green roads is difficult, but it is not impossible. With focused effort, India can overcome these hurdles and become a leader in the global electric vehicle revolution.